Hello everyone, today I'm doing my March reading wrap up, and I swear I say this in every wrap up video, but I can't believe it's already the end of the month. I feel like it's gone so quickly, but I read 5 books this month, so I'm going to talk about them all. Now the first book I read was an audiobook, and this was Lapvona by Otessa Moshfegh. Let me just say, it was weird. It was very, very weird. But I really did enjoy the audiobook because it was actually read by Otessa and I really liked her voice. Usually audiobooks are really hit or miss for me because sometimes, like, if I don't like the way the person reads, I'll just have to stop the audiobook. But this one was actually really good. I liked her voice, so it was really easy to listen to. But the actual book itself, it was very well written, but it was just really strange. Like, the actual story itself, I don't know what was happening. Like, so much happened that it's all gone over my head. Like, I don't actually really remember much about it, but I do know that it was weird. I remember being really, like, grossed out that grown men were getting breastfed by, like, some old lady. Why? I don't get it. There were some weird bits in there. Murder, cannibalism. I mean, it was all happening. So I didn't love the storyline itself, but the writing was really, really good. So I did end up giving it a 3 stars. I don't think I'd ever read it again. I'm honestly a little grossed out by it, but I do have another book by Otessa on my shelf, which is Death in Her Hands, and I really do hope that's not as gross because, I mean, ugh. If you've read it, I'm sure you understand, but even just from my, like, simple descriptions of what is in this book and warnings, cannibalism, like, what? I don't know if you'd want to read it now. So, I mean, do what you will with that. But I didn't really give, like, a premise. So, it's about this guy named Jude who is, like, a sheep farmer. He has his sheep and he has his son called Marek. Is it Marek? Marek? And it's about those 2 characters, like, primarily. There are lots of other characters, obviously. They live in a small town, they go through a drought, stuff happens, murder, as I said before. That child is crazy. So, there you go. The next book I read was The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I really enjoyed this, but I was so confused at the beginning. This is a sci-fi book that's set in New York City, and I love books set in New York. I find them so fun, and so I was really excited to read this. I did actually borrow it from the library. It was really good, really interesting, but again, as I said before, it was really confusing, and I don't know if that's just because I don't read a lot of sci-fi. I didn't know what to expect. I feel like if you do read a lot of sci-fi, maybe you would understand it more from the beginning because you're used to the genre and how books in that genre usually work out. But I was very confused. The concept was really cool. So there are 5 different main characters and they each are like physical manifestations of the boroughs of New York City, and then you have another one that's like New York City as a whole. So there's like 6 characters, but like 5 main ones that are in the book. It was really interesting. New York City's kind of being like taken over by this lady, and it was like plot twist at the end. Although at the end, it kind of seemed like it wrapped up. All the characters were like just chilling, even though stuff's happening around them. Like, if you've read the book, you know, I don't want to give any spoilers, but there is a second book, but I don't even know what's going to happen in that. Obviously there is stuff that could happen, but it could have ended there. But I ended up giving this book a 3 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I am looking forward to the second one because, as I said before, I know what's happening now, which is really great. I was very confused in like the first 100 to 150 pages, like. But yes, as I said before, setting's amazing, the characters were really good, they were funny, and they had their own little stories, but obviously all came together in the end to fight back. Woohoo, New York. And the next book I read was one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and it is Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, which is out now. So you can all read it, and I'm so happy because this was great. I gave it a 4 stars. This is by Jessie Sutanto, who also wrote Dial A for Aunties and 4 Aunties and a Wedding, which is one of my favourite cozy mystery books. This one, just as good. Really liked it. So this is about Vera, who owns a tea shop and one morning finds someone dead in her shop. So she tries to solve the murder, and she meets a lot of people on the way who she believes are suspects, but it's kind of like a found family aspect. Really fun. Loved all the characters and loved the mystery aspect as well. And just beware, while you're reading this, you have to have a tea ready because you'll be wanting tea. Like, I had to stop reading and go and make myself a tea and come back to reading because I felt like I was missing out. But really great, really funny, would highly recommend. And it's not too thick either, so very easy to read, and I just loved it. And I love the way Jessie writes her characters. Like, they're always so funny, so real. I just really enjoy it, and I can't wait to read what else she puts out in the future because I've just loved whatever I've read from her. So very much looking forward to her next few books. And the next book I read was Little Bird, which is a mafia romance, which is very different for me. I don't really read any mafia romance books, so I didn't know what to expect. There was some like interesting parts in the ending, but other than that there was not a lot of plot, and I gave this a 2.75 stars. I still enjoyed it, but I would have liked more stuff to happen with the whole drug business. Towards the end we did see like some bits where it actually affected the people. There is a truck reversing. Very nice. We shall just wait now. It's done. But yeah, I can't even remember what I was going to say. Oh yes, towards the end, the main girl, what's her name? Ren. She was kind of more involved with the whole drug thing. She got kidnapped. But yes, it was interesting. I do have a second one which follows like the main guy. I've forgotten all their names. Bane. I don't really like that name. Anyway, his best friend has another book which is called Little Secrets. It follows him and the police officer. Very interesting. I don't know when I'll read that, but I'm looking forward to continuing this series. I liked the ending, so I want to see more in the second book. If you like mafia romance, you probably would really like this. I don't know if it's my genre, but it was still good, so there you go. And the last book I read this month was The Running Club. This is a mystery thriller. So fun. I really enjoyed it. I was actually a part of like a 7-day readathon for this, and I think I only made it up to day 3 because I finished the book. I couldn't put it down. I had to keep reading and had to find out what was going on, and I'm so glad I did because I really enjoyed it. Oh, I forgot to say the author. The author is Ali Lowe, and this book follows a running club. There's these rich mums in a running club. Well, they're not all mums, but rich ladies who live in Sydney, and they are in a running club, and then one of them ends up dead, and then there's a whole mystery from there, and they all have secrets and all have like a motive to want this person dead, and then you just have to try and figure out who did it, and it was really, really good. I enjoyed it. Really liked the writing. I loved seeing the lives of these rich people. I found it so interesting. And this author does have another book. It's called The Trivia Night, and I wonder if that's like the same kind of deal, because if it follows rich people, I'd like to read about it. Like, how fun. There are so many like, not really plot twists, but plot reveals. Lots of drama, lots of secrets. Very interesting. I loved it. I feel like it'd be similar to like Big Little Lies. Not that I've ever read that or watched the show, but I feel like, aren't they like rich mums? I don't know. Could be completely wrong, but if that is what it is, then maybe this is the vibes of this book. I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't compare it if I haven't actually consumed the media. Anyway, I don't know. This was really good. Did I say what I gave it? I gave it a 4 stars, so would recommend. I liked it. So those were all the books that I read in the month of March. I would love to know what you read, and if you found any new favourites, please tell me in the comments. And if you also happen to read any of these books this month or at all, please tell me what you thought of them as well. Would love to have a little discussion with you, so let me know. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any more videos from me. And I'll be back next week with another video. Goodbye!